When exhaustion weighs on your shoulders, pause and realize you've dimmed your own flame. The guide stands ready to cradle you in calm, a balm you can't summon alone. You've lost the art of it. If you hadn't, weariness would never have. Crept in, no shadow could touch you unless you invited it, for the divine's dream for you isn't one of struggle. Sorrow isn't etched in his design. He crafts no wounds, and his stillness wraps you like a quiet dawn. The divine hums a gentle tune, free of discord's clamor. Strife is the seed of every storm, blind and reckless, striking without seeing its target. Yet its aim always finds you, the divine's own kin. You, the divine's child, ache for a soft reprieve, lost in the fog of your own choices, believing your compass isn't yours to steer. The vast expanse of belonging is yours, yet you roam like a wind without a home. Rooted in the divine's embrace, you feel a hollow ache. Surrounded by kin, you stand apart. Could the divine weave such a threadbare truth unless he too craved solitude? If your heartbeat echoes his, this loneliness can't hold, for it doesn't bind him, and so it can't bind you. Oh, my dear one, if you glimpse the tapestry the divine threads for you, your spirit would dance unbroken. What he dreams has already unfurled, a truth spun long before time's first breath. When the glow breaks through and you whisper, "The divine's path is mine," you'll behold a beauty so vast it could only bloom beyond your own hands. From that joy, you'll weave wonders in his name, your delight spilling over like a river too wild to tame. The drab, brittle world will crumble to dust, and your heart will soar, lifted to boundless skies, into the divine's nearness. I can't paint the fullness of that moment, your soul's not yet tuned to its song. But I'll nudge you often, what the divine holds for himself. He holds for you, and what's his is yours to claim. The path isn't steep, but it curves differently. Yours twists through thorns, a trail the divine doesn't tread. That road is rugged, strewn with solitude's sharp edges. Doubt and despair tag along, shadows that linger like uninvited guests. But that dim track isn't yours to bear, not as the divine's own, born of brilliance and cradled in it. Step into the glow, and let the murky travelers fade, their unfit escorts for one shaped from light. A radiant halo encircles you, beaming from within. How could those gray whispers hold sway in such a blaze? If they catch your eye, it's only because you've turned from the shine. Dismiss them instead, the light waits, and the way lies open. Divine lays bare every treasure for you, even as you duck behind veils of your own making, yet your spark can't be cloaked. The divine wills it to flare, kindling the flame that dances within you. You'll never lose your footing, for the divine's hand steadies you. When you stray, you're only chasing echoes down a path that dissolves under scrutiny. Those shadowed companions, that dusky trail, they're flickers of a dream. Pivot toward the gleam, for the ember in you is a shard of a fire so fierce it can sweep every dusk away. Your creator is your anchor, and you mirror his blaze. Light's children can't linger in gloom, no night pulls within them. Don't be swayed by the dusk's false comforters. Bar them from your spirit's sanctuary, for they don't belong in the divine's dwelling. When the urge to doubt him stirs, recall there's no rival flame to raise above him. Embrace his vision for you in quiet trust, for no other way will ring true. Only the divine's guide can soothe your core. In the hush of his haven, he waits to hand you the serenity that's yours. Share that calm, and you'll step into his refuge to find it blooming there. But stand pure in the divine's gaze, or you'll miss your own arrival. What jars with him can't slip into his thoughts. It wasn't born of his mind, so it's not his. Your spirit must gleam as clear as his to claim what's yours. Guard that inner shrine, for he resides there, resting in peace. You can't approach the divine trailing shadows, nor can you cross alone. Every kin must walk with you until you embrace them all. The threshold stays beyond reach. Wholeness eludes you unless you're whole, and no thread of the divine's family can be left behind if you're to know his entirety. In your heart, you can cradle the full weave of kin, bathing them in the light the divine sparked. Then you'll be fit to rest in his haven, for it's your will to stand together, not apart. The divine blessed you eternally. Bless your kin in this moment, and you'll touch the timeless. Time can't sever you from the divine when you wield it for what? Last the legacy of the divine's kin. Never let slip that your kin are your dawn, for they are you, your truest self. As the divine's handiwork, they're yours, and being yours, they're his. Your essence doesn't crave rescue, but your mind must learn what rescue means. You're not spared from some looming peril. You're lifted toward splendor. That splendor is your birthright, handed down by your creator for you to pass along. But if you scorn a piece of yourself, your clarity fades. You're gazing at the divine's craft without warmth. Since his work is part of him, to spurn it is to nudge him from his own hearth. Could you cast the divine adrift and still feel anchored? Can you turn from the Father and not imagine he's turned from you? His rhythms pulse only to cradle you, never faltering. Even when you push him away, what you feel guards you still. Your will's strength can't be dimmed unless the divine himself dims it, and that's not his tune. So fix your eyes on the vigor he lent you, knowing it's yours because it's his. Link arms with your kin in his calm. Your peace thrives in its boundlessness. Cap the peace you share, and your own depths stay veiled. Every spark of the divine's fire lives in you, fused with him. Would you snip a kin from that glow? You wouldn't if you saw that only your own lens can cloud. As you draw them back, you return too. That's the divine's rhythm, shielding the fullness of his family. You alone can rob yourself of the blaze. Don't fight this truth. It's the first flicker of daybreak. Know too that dodging it wears many masks, and you must spot them, stand firm against them every time. This shift stings at first. When you stop pointing outward, the embers turn inward, sharp and raw. It's tough to see they're the same fire, inside or out, with no divide. If your kin are woven into you and you blame them for your flicker, you're blaming your own thread. You can't point at yourself without pointing at them too. That's why blame must unravel, not shifted elsewhere. Pin it inward and you lose your own outline, for only the ego casts blame at all. Self-blame is the ego's banner, as much a shield as accusing others. You can't bask in the divine's glow. If you strike his kin, when his child sings praise to the Creator's voice answers back. But the Creator's song needs his kin's echo. Their shine is one, a shared blaze. The guide waits at the divine's hearth, ready to greet you. Come without a trace of judgment, or you'll think the gate's locked tight. It's not nothing can bar you from where the divine calls you. Love yourself with the guide's warmth, as your Father loves you. You can turn away, but you can't bolt the gate the guide holds wide. Step toward me, who keeps it open. For as long as I breathe, and I breathe forever, it won't close. The divine is my pulse and yours. Nothing he holds is withheld from you. At the divine's hearth. The guide awaits your return to yourself. The divine sees you flawless as he is, approached through cherishing his kin. The guide yearns for you to see him as you, his wholeness is yours. He is the divine's child, alive in his creator, aglow with his fire. He's the reach of the divine's love and grace, flawless as his source, at rest with him. Blessed are you, whose light mirrors your Father's, whose splendor you'll share as he shares it with you. No fault stains you, for none stains him. Holding his boundless love, you must share what's his's, or you'll miss both father and kin. Peace to you who rest in the divine, in whom all can find rest. The ego's mirage you can't slip free of. Illusions without facing them, averting your gaze only feeds their shimmer. There's no call to flinch, they're harmless wisps. Together we hold a lantern to melt them away, and since you've tired of their weight, you're primed to look. The ego's weave will hold our focus a while. We must trace its threads to see past them, for you've lent it substance. We'll unwind this tangle softly, then peer beyond to the steady flame. Healing is just clearing the haze from truth's path. How else to banish illusions but by staring them down, unguarded? Don't shy away what you'll see birth's fear, but your learning fears a hollow shell. You're finding too that its echoes fade when you call them false. Next, you'll see what casts and no shadow doesn't stand. Rhythms don't hum and avoid. What fizzles to nothing never was. So don't hesitate to face fear, it's a ghost that can't hold form. Clarity sweeps confusion aside, and light through dusk must chase it off. Let's start with the ego's weave. Its name alone is a knot. Mirage promises motion, but it's a contradiction empty at its core. Motion suggests strength, yet the ego's tail hinges on a lie that it holds sway. You tremble because you buy the story. Truth is simpler. All strength flows from the divine. What's not his has no pulse. Looking at the ego, then, isn't about motion. It's about chasing. Vapors. You can face a mirage without a quiver. It can't ripple if its root's a myth. Fear's a misfit once you spot the ego's aim pure nonsense, effort poured into a dry well. Its quest is to stand alone, a tower built on sand, answerable to no one but itself. That's its banner, a split from the whole. Every thread has a weave, and its weave flows from what it is. All the ego spins springs from its lone creed. To undo it, just see its source doesn't fit you. I've said clashing with the divine is a daydream, not a choice. His will is one, its reach unbroken. Your real wrestle pits the ego's whispers against the divine song, which you hum to. Is that a true fight? Your craft is tied to the divine, not a lone strand. Your making thrives in leaning on him, a dance he joins. By sharing it, he ties himself to you as you to him. Don't pen the ego's strut on him. He doesn't stand apart from you. He wove you into his whole. Can a lone thread mean anything without him? Clinging to the ego's tail dims your tie to the divine, where your freedom glows. The ego paints every link as a chain, twisting even your pull toward the divine into its own knot. Don't fall for its twist on your tug of war. The ego strikes to split. Believing it can, it does nothing else. Its lone aim is to drift free. It's a muddle about what's real, but it never loses its thread. It's sharper than you, dead set on its mark. You waver, unsure of yours. You must see the ego dreads you knowing you fear it. If it sparked terror, it'd shrink to your stride, unsap your spark. Yet its only hook is the lie it feeds you power. Without that, you tune it out. How can it linger if you see bowing to it dims you? The ego lets you strut cocky, breezy, detached, even frayed, but not afraid. It dims fear, not its root, a clever sleight of hand. How can it preach a rift without fear as its prop? Would you heed it if you saw the game? Spotting that every gap from the divine is just fear, whatever its mask cracks the ego's shell. Its dream of standing solo quakes. You might flirt with a false free step, but not if you clock the cost. That cost is real, and the ego can't shrink it. Skip love, and you skip yourself fearing a lie because you've turned from your own truth. Buying that you've struck at what's real, you grant strike its weight. Plainly, you've spooked yourself, who'd chase what they think would unravel them. If the ego's lone tower stood, the divine's dream could topple impossible. Only by sifting fear can you split the doable from the dreamt, the solid from the smoke. The ego says its peak can rise while the divine's can't. The guide's whisper says only the divine's dream holds. And it's already here. The divine leans on you as you on him. His whole wraps yours unfinished without you. Your free step comes in syncing with him, living your part as it truly sings. The ego calls its chase joy, but you're gifted to know your tune aligns with the divine's and joy lives there, not apart. See, the ego's hunt only drags fear, and it's hard to call that bliss. Propped by fear, it's what the ego sells. But the divine's kin aren't lost, they can't buy it. Spot it, and they won't bite. Only a frayed mind picks fear over love, thinking love bends to force. The steady no force births fear, and the divine's love shields them whole.